All right, welcome to Soul Spark Tarot. I'm your host, Mr. Renew, Coach Renew, whichever you prefer. So today we're supposed to do a pick a card. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the tarot. They were already talking. New beginnings, choices being made, exactly. So we want to see what that means for each pile. So I'm going to shuffle these up a little bit more. Um, then we'll get started. So as lately, we've been doing the original tarot and then some Doreen Virtue decks, change deck, and life purpose deck. So we'll use those as clarifiers, change in particular, and then the final message comes from the life purpose. As I like to read, I like to use the bottom of the deck as the root chakra for you so you can understand how the seed blooms into the crown chakra of the fruit or the manifestations. And that is the card that normally comes out. So then I also like to tell stories, like how the cards just lay out. And I think their spatial orientation and where they actually land when they fly out, that should mean a lot, no matter if I'm calling it number four and it's over here looking like it's number one. There's a sequence to how things play out. And everything is not linear in this world over here in the spiritual community. So I'm here to map it out for you as I demonstrate these cards. So I'm going to shuffle the cards a little bit more. I want to give you three piles, and then those three piles, I want to give you some time to choose as I shuffle the other cards. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. They come out just to tell y'all. If I had to give you a sneak peek, yeah, I'm liking the trailer. Sneak peek. Okay. So that's pile one. Here's pile two. I don't know if y'all can hear those commercials and shit in the back, but we'll just do it. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we got judgment. Judgment. So sorry. Okay. So we got the green aventurine over here. We got the heart rose crystal. And then we got the citrine or not citrine. Forgot right now. But we got this sacral cluster. So go ahead and choose. If you think it's weird that power one popped out, I think again it all does what it's supposed to do. And in this case, I think this is important because if you're going to pick, if you're attracted to the green, or if you're just attracted to number one, or you just like to listen to the beginning of the story, seeing if you're interested or not, I think this is a really good point of reference. You don't gotta, it's not hiding, is what I'm saying. You ain't gotta guess. If you got some shit that's been on your motherfucking mind, that's probably your pal. Okay. And what comes out of all of these is judgment. So it's judgment time. Whatever's on your mind, whatever we don't know about over here, and whatever you're teetering on in this situation over there. So again, as I'm shuffling, you do your thing. Do your thing. You pick, you choose. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay out these cards now as well. Whatever number comes out, we'll go ahead and put the rest to the side and then we'll read them. All right. So tell us a little bit more about, I don't know, number two. So, okay. Again, I like this is coming out like crazy perfect. But, anyways, forgiveness is at the foundation of this judgment. So, no matter what comes out, again, it's predicated upon you finding judgment. So, all right, take your pick. And I'll see you in your reading. All right, so we got a two of swords. So normally this card is seen as indecision. Um, I normally see it as choice, but choices are decisions made, and decisions are means of being excellent. So whatever you decided to be good in, great at, those are the things that we're looking at. It's not always I gotta pick this or pick that in the sense of a negative. In a positive ways, us changing direction. So because we had our weekly reading, I'm assuming all the energies for this week, all the readings that I give is going to carry a similar sense. We were in a position of deciding on whether we should make a decision over here or whether we shouldn't make a decision over here, whether we should not make a decision over here, whether we should not make a decision over here. We had two different decisions in two different areas. So because of that, I think this is good that if you chose this pile, that you're at least coming into a more balanced state of making a choice. So what came in for last time was boom, we need to cut through this opposition with a truth. And so I think I started off with the short video today, and I was saying how you got your mom's side and you got your dad's side, and you got to stop saying both of those things as mom and dad. You got to see it as just the parent side. And now you can understand parents that are not you, because all parents have to deal with kids, and kids have to deal with the parent side called mom and the parent side called dad. But you were already in the situation probably, and so the idea is that you can still make that new choice whether you're teaching. I mean, I had to do parent teacher conferences. The idea is there's always multiple things, but you can cut through it as one thing. Not the mom, not the dad, just the parent. So, choices. What are you making choices on? Sentimental feelings. Feelings. So, you're making choices about some feelings, man, some feelings. And I think these feelings are cool. Just because you have to make a choice, but you don't have to make a choice. The idea is these are feelings of it's things that you care about. It's the sentimental aspects of life. And so, what is sentimental to you? What parts of life allow you to be more of yourself? What allows you to see yourself be great? Well, for me, it's helping people, talking to people, and now showing people. But the idea is these are things of the past that I've now created in a new way. So I think that you are worried about making a decision of things that you enjoyed doing in the past, your creative ventures in the past, these pure things that just come out of you, your natural talents, these God given things, these peaceful, harmonic things, these things you just don't even know that you probably do, these things that you just do. These are the aspects that I feel that's come from this card. It's just your natural you, your harmony. So you're choosing a different way to intellectualize how you should move forward, but you don't even know which ways you want to choose because they're not a choice that's true to you. That's again, the weekly reading was talking about being true to you. So I feel like these are ways that other people are trying to tell you and convince you instead of looking into yourself or having somebody coach you through looking into yourself. And I think that's very important to know the difference because you can learn how to do shit on the outside all day. And a lot of people think that the spiritual shit on the outside is the spiritual shit on the inside. No, there's a whole new playground inside the mind. And that mind is just as real as the physical world and it's just as opposite to the spiritual world. So there's a physical side to the body and there's a non-physical side to the body. And that is explained in a lot of different ways, but it's still just the physical side of the body. So we got to learn how to battle inside the mind or the emotions. It's really the mind because the mind creates sensations, and these sensations, we feel them, and then we name these sensations as a feeling. And then the more often we feel these sensations in different scenarios, that eventually becomes categorized as an emotion and a constant feeling or sensation in motion over time. And because we have a lot of history in life, if you're not just born, you got a lot of history. And even if you're 1 year old, parents already know that's a lot of change, a whole lot of history. So the idea is, I'm trying to make this sound better, but the idea is you have to make sure that you know how to make a choice on the physical world just as well as you can do on the non-physical physical world, the mind world. Then we can get into the emotions, which change up. Okay, so what is the life purpose message for pound number one? That's green venturing. Get your heart into it. It's all about your heart. It's all about your heart. And I think it's all about understanding that you already have forgiveness in your heart. So it doesn't matter which choice you make on the logical side, keep making choices that make you feel forgiving of yourself. Again, look in the past and be grateful of the good times, even with the bad people. Damn, at least they fed me. If I was in a bad situation, at least I ate. And if you can't do it with them, at least I wasn't out freezing. Oh, but I was tied up. Okay. Well, again, you could have been stabbed up too. I don't know. I'm just trying to say that if you can think of something that's worse and that you're grateful to not have had happen in the worst situation, then you can be forgiving of yourself for just making it through and adapting the behaviors that you eventually gained and then that you eventually came to call a part of your personality. You can still remove some of those old learned behaviors because any behavior can be learned. Seems like it's dealing with some kind of career change, but I think it's more so of a mindset change within the career change that you're facing. You're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. Again, follow your heart. And what you're following, again, because people say that, I'm giving you an intent directive. This is a learning assignment. What are you going to follow inside of your heart? You got 4 chambers in your heart, 4 different perspectives, 4 different ways to feel. 2 different teams, 2 different ways. it's really, it's really a. But anyways, I don't want to get too complicated on this. This for other videos. The forgiveness can come in a lot of different ways. And you got to be familiar with the way that the forgiveness is coming and where it's focused on. Is it forgiveness in passions? Is it a forgiveness in actions? Is it a forgiveness in emotions? Is it forgiveness of thoughts? Is it a forgiveness in location, anything physical? But still understand that it's just you thinking about it over here in this way, and then you thinking about it over here in another way. So get out of both ways. Okay. Yeah. Make the judgment. The judgment is to follow what makes your heart feel joyous. If it brings you some joy, cool. Again, because we're already looking at the bad and finding joy. So we're just practicing the joy sensation. So then when we practice that joy sensation over time by looking at the old, even though it was bad, but finding the good and being appreciated and laughing at that shit like it was, nothing ever happened. You can look around you and see that I'm in a different spot, but that means you can now take what you just cultivated as that feeling And then you can apply it to some new shit and just start saying a name and the new different shit. That's it. Just identify the new shit, and the feeling of joy will be there because you're here and you're just laughing and happy with some bad shit. And nothing is bad right now. Like as you're listening. I'm not talking about what you're going through in your life, but you're listening. So nothing is bad. You're just listening. And guess what? Kind of cool. So help yourself understand these old feelings in the past and understand through forgiveness by knowing that you're being forgiven by being joyful now, because you can be joyful then, which means you can be joyful in the future. All right, people, what you got? What is your life purpose? Where should you put these intentions towards? Again, this is just the next step that you potentially could take, the choice you possibly can make, what you call in judgment on. You are an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about nature and the animals. Taking this as face value for you, yes, do something as this. You can do this as I'm going to be an environmental scientist. I'm going to look and study and do the physical world and shit like that over here. Or I can do the other science side to be an herbalist or, sea moss or mm, make soaps and all the other things. Are still environmentally based, but it's still a science. Or you can be an advocate. You can speak. You can write. You can do songs. You can create marketing. You can do social media. You can communicate research. You can do a lot of the other aspect of for the environment because it's not just about the physical environment. Now we got to look at the emotional environment. Maybe we need to be talking about more ways to view the emotional world, the feelings, or ways to standardize it. It's really whatever you want to do. But what about the same thing on the mental side? Different ways to standardize communication to where more people can be included, but we don't have to exclude and everybody can be flexible. Or what if we knew new structures, new buildings, new things like that for the environment? Lots of different ways to talk about it, do about it, think about it without actually having to be a scientist building upon it or an investor doing it, which is investing inside that building with capital. Notice I'm so real world. Or you can cut to the other side and you can start to look at the feelings and the emotions and the metacognitives and then the spiritual aspects and the peaceful and the harmonies and the balance and then the opposites and then the discharges and the recharges and the incharges. And you can look at all the different areas between the different connections of the world, connections of the mind, of the spirit, of the soul, of the body, of the physical, of the world, of the natures. Again, as an environmentalist, you can do a lot of things, but you are here to protect something. Whatever I just said, whatever you can think, protect it or nurture it or teach about it. But you're teaching about nature. So that means you're teaching about people and you're teaching about yourself. You're teaching about yourself and your love and your natural affinity to what you're nurturing, protecting, or teaching about. Or the animals or whatever. It's just you showing how much you care about it, which is all that you know. So again, you got to make a decision, but this decision that you made is the judgment and it's already in your favor, no matter which way you go. The idea is you got to give and you got to give in a way that makes you help the things that cultivate your passions, which is the nurturing or the protecting or the teaching. So go teach something, go nurture something, which is just go love on something, go pet and love on your cat, or brush your dog, give him a bath, and take him on a walk, give him a bowl, make sure that motherfucker feel good and fresh, just like you would if you got your motherfucking nails done or your motherfucking hair cut or some shit. Again, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, protecting yourself, teaching about yourself, teaching yourself about yourself, teaching about the natural things that you like to do, your routines, things that you enjoy in nature, all of that right here. And even if it's old, you can make new. This girl don't look mad or sad. Happy as fuck, joyful. Joyful, joyful, Lord, we adore thee. God. So Spark Radio if you want to sit like that. But anyways, all right, people, appreciate you being here on this. Let's move on to the next. All right. So power number two. Power number two. If you chose power number two, you have this card laid out. This card laid out, and we don't know it down. Think about you. But we know you are loving. We know that you are attracted to this rose quartz crystal. And we know that you are even more loving because it's in the shape of a heart. This was a gift. It was pretty cool. I had a class who was into crystals like me. Again, every as a teacher, I get to see personalities as classes as a social group. And I get to see those things change over time if I'm in one place. And so this class, I watched them grow up from being sixth, seventh, and then eighth graders. And I taught them in seventh and eighth. And so I had a lot of time with these kids, and they just had a lot of good meshing personalities within themselves. And then I was able to match that same vibe too. But they were all loving, and it was loving to the point to where when I went to go pick up some crystals for myself, I told the story. Boom, got this free crystal, and the kids all loved it and wanted me to keep it so I can be with them. So shows me that this pal is super loving, caring. But I don't think you really understand how caring and loving you are. I think it's just a part of you and your nature, which is like those other kids. They were just loving kids. They were just really good kids. And then I saw them 1 year later. Some it's like, God damn, what did high school do to you? Turn you into Rico Suave or, the queen of this and all they just grew up so much in one simple year. And of course, that essence of just being a kid left a little bit, but they still have the essence now of a good person. So it just elevated. So I think a lot of good people, you're seen as a lot of good people, good person. Part of the judgment is that needs to be judged upon in some kind of way. And then it needs to be forgiven in some kind of way. You are a really good person. So how are you a really good person? Because you're stable. Your passions are stable. You're balanced. You're you're wonderful. You're fucking awesome. You're fucking awesome. You're so great. And I love this because this is greater than what a lot of people try to express this as. This is the greatness of balance within yourself. Look at the Four of Pentacles. I think that's the balance of your own material wealth. And I think what we really need to see this as, if this is the base to a table, like a lot of people would say, I could put those pentacles on top. Then if I can put those pentacles on top, right? What else could I do? I can put the cup or the chalice on top of them. So I can now balance my emotions, my practicality, and my passions. And I think this is the foundation to that. You now setting up yourself for a solid root chakra, knowing with the judgment that you're just a good ass person. That's the judgment. You know you are that motherfucker. And guess what? You got you to show yourself that you that motherfucker. Then you got you to show yourself that motherfucker is the motherfucker. And then you got them together showing the world that we that motherfucker. And that's the inner child with the adult child, I think, coming together. That's the dark side with the light side, just being aside together, inside kind of thing instead of outside. It's so balanced because a lot of people like to see it left and right, but because I taught math and I can see spaces, you can see it as front and back, you can see it as diagonals, and the stability that comes when you weave this web of support for yourself, it comes in the form of you loving yourself. You got a lot of love to give and show, and guess what? The love that you give and show is in a balanced, stable way. So, good motherfucking job. Ooh, shit. Nice. Nice. What else we got? Heavenly signs. It's like you've been waiting on this shit. Boom. Ah, damn. Boom. Shit. Oh. Look at you. Look at you. This motherfucker right here, boy. Damn. This pal right here. Shit. Shit. Yeah. Damn. Damn. I'm sweating. Shit. So, heavenly signs, man, based upon this forgiveness. I don't know what you've been forgiven, but that shit has led to nothing but greatness. And this is the sign that, like, you just know. You've been knowing, but like, nigga, you probably didn't go get much better of a sign than what I'm getting right now. Yes, whatever you are judging upon, like that shit has been made and it is there. It's wonderful. Damn, that's crazy. So follow your signs. Again, it's looking blue. So that means there's different ways communication is coming at you. These are your signs. Your signs are going to be words, billboards, they're going to be blogs, they're going to be books, they're going to be definitely get into books. Books popping up again because of the weekly reading. You need to involve yourself in a lot of books. Again, a book, read a book to your kid. Go read a book to some old motherfuckers. But sorry. So old motherfucker, young motherfucker. That's go practice. I gotta practice. I guess not said shit like I don't know, but practice. There's something in regarding practice in terms of these songs. Something you need to practice, you need to stabilize, and that's already stable. I think that's what it is. It's already there. I think you got it all. You just need a boost, you need a little motivation, a little confidence boost, a little understanding that whoop, if you come back here, I'm probably gonna bring your ass some more information. I'm not opposed whatsoever, not obliged, but I'm telling you, like for real, for real, for real, for real. Like for real, I don't. If you was a student in my classroom, I don't give a fuck if you dating this dude and then you dated that dude. I'm gonna help all of y'all individually and just be cool by being together and around each other and shit. Like it ain't gonna be a problem. We all gonna feel supported. So follow the signs that you're seeing through your communication avenues. You communicate with yourself. So I think that you need to start listening to yourself a little bit more because like you got to understand your balance in every single way. I think that you have to understand that you're balanced in a lot of different ways you don't even realize because you don't even know how to see it like that. Damn, you have to just trust then. And again, for you, trust in what you find forgiveness in. I think if you can understand that, then you can go far. So how can you trust that? How can you understand that? Well, I mean, if you can think about something and it makes you mad, then understand that you can forgive yourself for being mad. But then you can learn from that person who is angry. Damn, I'm pissed the fuck off. Well, why? What signaled you to be so mad? Is it something that happened before? You can start to help yourself because as you walk yourself down the way, you already know you can support both sides, but you got an extra two supportive sides from another person. This person might give it to you nice, this person might give it to you rough. But the idea is that you can give it to yourself nice or rough first, and then you can look for external help. And most of the time, people want to come in gentle. So we want to go in gentle. And guess what? If you're being gentle with yourself, you can find the gentle signs. But if you're not being gentle with yourself, you can still get some gentle self and guess what? That external now creates a new vibe. But if you being a bitch and you got a supportive person and they got to bring their bitch side out too, again, that might make you a little bit more gentle because they might bitch you out for not following what you know you should be doing or what's good for you. Dealing with your family, dealing with healing. So follow your signs about your family. Follow your signs about healing your family or being the healer of the family or being the gifted person of the family or being the gifted forgiver of the family. Again, you can love people always because it's just emanated from you, even if you're not around them. That's your memory. That's your sign within your own groups, your own self. So, all right, let's get your final message. Yeah. So you got to tap in. Instead of worrying about what you don't have going on, you need to just ask for guidance. And that means you got to go do something. You got to go do something. The way you ask for guidance is to do something. I think what you need to do is you need to understand that you are providing a lot of different somethings, and the somethings that you need to do is these things. Go do something. You got to go give, and because you want to see and reflect back how like stable you are when you do give, like how sound it is and how like stable it is and how variable it could be. Again, this is your sign to understand that you already got it. Again, I hyped you up so much on here. This is the most hype, and now we chilling, right? So the idea is you already got what you need. You just need more people around you to like keep that spark. And so this is what I teach. I teach people how to like just get that shit to yourself. So uh, go read some of my books and blogs and shit to help you understand how to like kickstart your own self again, and then go confirm that shit with your angels because they're going to guide you to where you should focus on. In other words, they're going to take you to places where you can take this passion and solidify this passion into something real, that pentacle. And then once you get three pentacles, most people are going to say you're being stingy, right? But that's collaborative. Three of Pentacles is collaborative. So three of these rods, these passions are going to be collaborative within yourself. But then you got the one ideal over your head, which is that's going to be that pillar that keeps everything stable, which is what we call the Ace of Pentacles. And so when you have these things that's able to balance on top of these passions, again, that's what you're being led to. Follow the signs of these four different passions, and then take the idea of bringing them into a real world manifestation. But then you got to create a cup. The cup is going to stamp that passion down. And now instead of just serving me food, I got a complete meal, right? But I just can't feed me. I got to feed other aspects of the family, other aspects of myself, all four parts of my heart. And then the whole family can eat at once. And so now the whole family is eating. And as we're eating together, now we can start to emote with one another. We can exchange these sensations and these feelings. And as you exchange the sensations and these feelings, you can follow more signs of forgiveness. You can have more forgiving judgments. And it's really about yourself. I think you're missing signs and you be mad as fuck. But nobody see you as that, and that's not even the case like that whatsoever. Not even close. Chill. Chill the fuck out. So chill the fuck out on your mind and your indecisions and your worries by going and seeking your own heavenly signs. And those signs come in the form of how you feeling. You're, if you into anything like anime, the Avatar, The Last Airbender, there's the four elements: earth, air, fire, water. Again, go look at all four of those and see which one is like being signs. And that sign can be something that's like mystical or make you forgiving, in a way that you wouldn't have thought about it. But again, we got rods, we got cups, pentacles, and we got swords. Number four, the stability things comes as one whole thing. These are all cards: spades, diamonds, hearts, clubs. Just a deck of cards or a suit. Which suit? Doesn't matter. They all need to be accounted for. So go look at all the signs. Go talk to your angels about the different signs. Go find new angles to view this stuff from. And what you're looking for is forgiveness. And that'll help you make the right judgment. So, all right, people. Appreciate you for being here. Remember, you the shit. Remember, you the shit. You the shit. You the shit. This power's the shit. Understand that. Bolster that shit. Because when you bolster that shit, you're down here. And if you scream that shit to the world, you're thinking you're gonna be up here. Nigga, you're barely gonna be here. So scream, go as hard as you can to keep like promoting yourself and being you and like being confident and shining and vibing and being and growing and forgiving and calling out those judgments out of love and love for self and love for others and the environments. Keep doing that shit because then you can get a little stronger. And so now when you get low, you'll push it to up here. It still ain't up here like you think because that's not the kind of person you are. So stop thinking you're going to turn into the devil when you've been doing so many angelic things. Your devil is just this, and there are so many worse things on the other side, kind of vibe. So get your head out of the motherfucking clouds with your emotions that are negative, and get your head in the clouds about the things that you do that's so wonderful, forgiving, and joyous about you. All right, I gotta go. Y'all too good. I'll keep talking about y'all. Not to hate on nobody else, but I'm just saying, bro. All right, pile number three. Pile number three. All right, pile number three. Let's see. We got uh I keep wanting to say citrine, but it's not citrine. But this cluster here is I got this to help me with my sacral creativity. I want to be more balanced. And so if you chose this file, it's obvious that you're dealing with something with self-employment. So I think forgiveness and self-employment are pretty evident. I think maybe you tried and you failed, which is cool, bro. That's how you learn. Or maybe you've not forgiven yourself, which is why you not doing this. But this shows me a little bit more than that. Is because this is your crown. So I think that it's on your mind or it's been downloaded into you. You just haven't like rooted it because you haven't forgiven something. So I think this is why this card came out like this. And that's why we haven't seen this one because we don't know what has been forgiven. But whenever they come out in this form, in this direction, for me, this horizontal, it's 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 an exchange. It's a loop. You can get stuck in here in this circle, right? And that's why. And all sides of this circle is the same, which means they can be good or bad. You can always use it to keep circling, and that's the problem. Winter then summer. No matter what, you can keep doing the same thing, which is why when we look at actions and things that come out, that helps us either go this way or that way. And this is what we have to learn to tangent off. We got to learn to get onto a new path, right? But it's still your path because you're the one looping. So your path has to exit from some kind of way. And so depending on this card, it has two ways to use it. You can use it this way as you're leaving, or you can use it this way as you're leaving. And so when you look at it from this point of view, you gotta understand that I can take like my dad's point of view or my mom's point of view, or you can try to take your parental point of view, which is like just the most mature thing that any parent would do in a situation for the kid, kind of thing in general. So in this case, we're looking at forgiveness, and in this case, we're looking at self-employment. There's something you've been going around and around with. Okay. Obviously, I think you're dealing with something emotional. And I think this emotional thing comes in the form of some judgments, whether that's judgments upon you, judgments you place on others, industries, processes, procedures, rules, methods, society, whatever. I think that these are like super big things that are general nouns, not common nouns. Common nouns are things like dog, cat, bird. These are we're talking about general nouns, general things in the world that are nouns still. It's just at a larger, more general scale. Like saying the word robin. I'm not just particular talking about a single robin or a specific type of robin. I'm just saying the word robin, which is more than bird. All right. So let's see what this says. What the fuck did I say? So I said you was dealing with emotions. I think you keep leaving and coming back, leaving and coming back, leaving and coming back. You leave the emotions, come back to the emotions, or you lead to emotions, or and then you leave back to emotions you already left. That's really what it seems like. So I think this is very, very clear. You gotta fucking just leave. Stop going back to the old emotions. Even if you still feel the sensation, that is not the same fucking thing. Please understand. Let me break it down for you. When I leave, these cups are still here. When I come back and I do my lap, do you want to still motherfucking drink the same shit that's been in there? Probably not. If I leave some milk in all of these cups and I leave for a goddamn week and I come back, will you drink that shit? You probably can't. That shit'll turn into something else. it'll change on you to where it won't even allow you to consume it in the same way as before. Are you gonna really accept that shit? Or you can fucking leave. You can come back and you can put some nice shit in there. Water. Leave for a week. Do you still want to drink week old out water? This shit's been open and just out stale, no top, no nothing. You just gonna drink that shit? You might have bugs and bacteria and flies and all kind of shit that just sit in there because things that are not in motion stagnate, becomes dead. So no matter if you're trying to do good things or if you got bad things in there, taking laps around these same old as emotions is not going to serve you any benefit what the fuck so ever. None. 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 Whether it's good things in the cups or bad things, which is again, if you came back from I don't know which pile it was now, but one of the piles was talking about like uh I forgot now. But if you keep going in circles, you're not going to understand how to remove yourself. And I think it's whatever pile it was talking about how there's two sides to both. Again, you got I think it was pile two. Again, you got the two sides over here, you got the two sides over here. And this is the good, bad. And I think that's what you're doing. You've been doing the good, bad shit over here. But the idea is it's not that. It's not good, bad. It's good, good, bad, bad. And that is what you're not seeing. You're not seeing that even if you do something that's good for you, like put water in the cups, but you left them out. So that was bad. And then when you come around again, you see that there's water in the cup, but the water looks bad now because it got muck and guck and shit in there. So maybe your kid came by and put a motherfucking hot wing in there. Who knows what the fuck happened? So what I'm saying to you is that once you start to see that the best way to do anything is to walk away. And guess what? This card here, this is our root, this is our chakra. Your chakra system here is now getting a judgment call. And I think you're now finally able to slug in your heart and you can start to dump out all of the cups from all 8 chambers of your heart. Again, the good, bad side of all 4 of your chambers of your heart. Got the up, down, the left, right, the inside of the pump, the outside of the pump. It's just one heart pumping, but the blood is flowing through different areas at different times. And so I think you got rid of all of that shit. And I think that's what you need to do. All of it, all of it. Again, make a judge. You be the judge of it. And you say, enough of all of it. Fuck it all. Fuck it. I think that's what you need to really do. Because at the end of the day, you got yourself in some kind of way. Let's find out. I really want to find out what is the life purpose behind this. What the fuck is going to connect these two things together? Because again, when you go down here, whatever you're building is built off upon forgiveness. So I don't know if you need to learn how to forgive yourself, or I don't know if you need to understand how to forgive others that are still just a part of yourself. Or for the third thing, I don't know if you actually got some people you live with or see in the physical world that need to actually fucking forgive. Or I don't think that you have people around you. You might just be people on people's minds. So all 4 of those things, again, people need to forgive you as well. I think those are the things that you're just lapping and looping around. But if you forgive yourself as all, just forgive the whole heart and forgive the little parts. See all of it. Don't just say, I love you. I don't care about what color your skin is. Well, you don't see what I got to go through and how I got to here. So you don't value all parts of me. So you got to see all parts of things and accept all parts of things. And I think you need to look at all the little parts, the good and the bads, for all of your thoughts, emotions, places, and spaces. Find forgiveness, then find a way to forgive yourself in totality. And I think you can share that as some kind of self employment. So let's see. Got to write some shit. You got to write some shit. Down. All right, let's see. I never take these things like inverse like this, but it's telling me to. I feel like I need to see. We need to see like where to go because this looks like it's a down thing. But again, if you understand circles, you're going down, right? But then you will be going back up. But instead of going up to the left, I think you're going to make a new loop to the right. But the idea is maybe you can circle on some new shit, some new motions. The real thing is to create what we call a sine wave or S wave. So if I'm looping here, I might want to go up and then down, and then up and then down. Now I get to move through a lot of spaces. And that's the whole cool thing. I'm not stuck in a loop of the same emotions. So I think we need to see this card as what it is. Let's see it. We got to get another one. So we're gonna look. We gonna look. We gonna look. We're gonna get another one, but we're gonna look to see like what else. And what else we see is time to decide. So you gotta decide some shit. I've been telling you, you've been looping and lapping. It's time for you to decide. And I told you, you need to decide to let it go. You need to just let it all go. And it says, walk away from this situation in order to resolve it. It's time for you to decide. Make a decision based on your heart's true desires. So, this is what you have in your root. Your root is telling you that you need to decide forgiveness, judge that forgiveness. Judge that forgiveness if it's acceptable enough for you or not, but you need to focus on yourself because it's your heart. So if your heart makes you forgiving, then that's the judgment. But if you go to a situation and other people's judgments on you aren't forgiving, then that's the true desire because you don't want to be in that place. That's your excuse to bounce. That's your excuse to let that shit the fuck go. I want to be loving and you want to hate on me. I want to be forgiving and you want to be mad. I want to be loving and caring and you want to be hateful and sinful. No, fucking go. That's your excuse. You don't need to fight for that shit. Time to decide. It says your life purpose involves helping and teaching and healing children. Something is killing your inner child or your kids around you, or the idea of kids, or you have kids that are fucking you up. But forgiveness, just decide to be forgiving and let it all go. And the best way I think is to understand that this shit is dealing with immaturities. That's what I really understand children to be, just immature energies, because there are some super mature ass kids, but because they're just 12, they just don't understand what it means to be 15. So that's what makes kids dumb because they're just not of age. So that I don't care how mature they come across. Again, if you're not 16, bro, you just don't know what it means to be 24. Like you just don't know. And that's the cool thing. Even if you might get there and nothing really change or differs, the idea is you don't know until you know. And at 16, you knew that it was the same as being 13. But when you were 13, you didn't know it was going to be the same when you were 16. You could have had a whole bunch of different things. But it's because of how you're looking at it. Again, you're going in the loop of why it's not the same instead of why it is the same. But that still keeps you in the same loop. So let it all go and just say, well, fuck it. I'll just change. I'm not the same. So I'll do 13-year-old things now, and now I'll do 16-year-old things. And depending on you and how much you can judge yourself on and how much you forgive yourself for doing and how close you get to being your own self, that is how you start to see what you let go of and what is not you. How to dump out all of these cups and figure out what should go in the cup. And nothing should go in these cups but you. So how do I give to myself in a way to where these cups don't go stale no matter what the time is? Well, it's based upon some decisions. So you got to walk away from this situation in order to resolve it. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. All right. What do they need to walk towards? What do they need to walk towards? You need to open your heart. Flowers. Open your heart. Something about you doing something inside of your heart is what is going to help you with this self employment. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. There's something that these are 8 cups. The nine of cups helps you feel satisfied. The 10 of cups helps you feel satisfied in all of those cups. And so how I like to see this is you're missing the ace of emotions. You don't have a bunch of sensations and feelings that you maintain over time that keeps your cup full. And that's why these things have to be filled up externally, which is why they keep spoiling. It's not an everlasting water. So you need the everlasting water. That water on the inside comes from the Ace of Cups. If you would have that Ace of Cups, you wouldn't be at the Eight of Cups. You would be at the Nine of Cups, which is completely satisfied with yourself. And then you would meet another person with their own Eight of Cups, or excuse me, Ace of Cups. And then that comes through, and those two aces build what we call a 10 of Cups. That Ace of Cups for me and that Ace of Cups from you can only be capped out as me giving as max as I can. I can only give myself five. I don't need to go to the sixth, the seventh, and the eighth anymore because there's a team. We can put our pentacles together, our cups together. But that's the idea. We can share, and once we share these emotions, we can share more than the emotions. But I don't need to give all of myself anymore because there's more. But when you're by yourself without the ace, you got to build up even beyond five. And again, the 5 of Cups shows you that you only need 2 cups. That's what that shows you. You need the cup that you like, need for yourself and the cup that's being filled up everlasting. Those are the only 2 cups you need. And somebody else can come in and give you another 2 cups. And then we got the 4 cups. And a lot of people don't like the 4 cups, but I like the 4 cups because that shows you that you're stable in what you're emotional in. The new cup, the new ace is just the opportunity to share. Again, that is, do I want to place this last cup on this last rod to get the 4 of wands? I always say wands or rods. It's both, but 4 fucking sticks. But that's what I'm saying. You have to know how to place it on top. So you definitely came from power two. You need to get this courage to walk away from something that's not allowing you to like look at the beauty of the world. So my suggestion for you is to fucking go outside and just talking to flowers and saying how beautiful they are. And what that does is it allows you to speak. And once you speak these things, you hear these things, and then you don't feel any judgment upon yourself because it's just a flower. What are they going to do? Say, shut the fuck up? No. But what it does do is it shows that you are loving to something that would just, again, people just walk by the flower. So now you're giving this flower some attention, some extra energy that will change the flower just because you're interacting with it. That's some quantum physics for you. So I think the way you forgive yourself is by practicing giving. And I think that you need to give to things that puts you at the forefront. So by you taking actions and going to go tell a flower, oh, it's beautiful. You look so wonderful. I love how your pink and your whites come together. I love how the blue just pops and looks like an accent across the sun sky, the sun sky, the sky, the sunset, whatever. It just looks nice. So tell it. So then you can start to be okay with hearing that. So then when you step into your self-employment, you can actually receive. But you got to go give yourself a new structure, a new cup. Let go of the old cups. Go find a new cup. Be okay with not having a cup. I'm grateful that I had some. I'm going to give some love to where I can start to manifest a new Ace of Cups. And let's see finally what's at the bottom. And you got to go teach. So you got to go teach some shit. So that's what I have for you. Go teach. I don't know where that's going to be. There's 4 different ways that you can express this. Like I said, 4 different chambers of the hearts. And those 4 will give you this ace. But before you get to there, you got to find your ace of rods, your passion. Your passion comes from forgiveness. And I think excuse me, your passion is dealing with educating, teaching, conveying information. So jump on board by jumping off ship. Man overboard. That motherfucker jumped. Yeah, I'm good. Don't throw a boat or don't throw a raft. I'm swimming. You want to swim? Yes, I'm swimming away from these old cars. I'm letting this shit go. I'm getting my own crew. So go do your own thing. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all for being here. See you next time. Peace.